Welcome to part 2 for our Galaxy Defiance Space Shooter tutorial series. In this video, we're going to be adding the lasers to our ship. Let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is create some places for our lasers to come from. So let's click on our ship, and we're going to add a new marker 2D. Now these marker 2Ds are great for marking positions in your scene. Let's place one here just to the left of this cannon here. We'll call this left muzzle, and then we can hit Control D to duplicate that and move over here just to the right, and we'll call it right muzzle. Or you could call it cannon, I guess, either way. So we'll save that. Now we're going to need to create a script and attach it to our ship. Create a new script, attach it to the ship, and save. Probably not going to need the process function for now. We'll keep the ready function though. And we need to create some lasers that we're going to fire from here. So let's add a new scene here. We'll make it a 2D scene. And I'm not sure, let's see. Laser small. Yeah, I'm looking at my reference project here. We'll call this laser. Doesn't need to be called laser small. And we'll save it inside of, let's make a new folder here and we'll call it projectiles. We'll save it inside of projectiles. Let's call it laser. Okay, so what does laser need? All right, let's think about what this needs and what tools that we have to get us here. We're going to need some way to display the laser. So let's do a simple sprite. It won't need to be animated, so that's why we don't need to do an animated sprite. And we can find our laser, let's see, which one did I use? I see that I have both laser small and laser big. So we're just doing laser small. There we go. Now our laser is also going to need a move component, just like our ship did. And this is where we get to see, or start to see, some of the power of these components. Our move component script, we can reuse that code and not have to recode movement. So we select the laser as our actor, right? And the Y here will be -200. So it'll move very quickly. Now the other thing we want is that, well, let me just show you here. Let's come back to our ship. Now on our ship, we need some way to create this laser. And I've already created a component for us to use. It's called the spawner component. So we'll grab our spawner component here, add that to our ship. So our spawner component needs a scene that it's going to spawn. So let's find our laser. Here we got laser.tscn right here. We can drag that and drop it into here. And now our spawner component here knows that it's going to spawn this laser. Okay. Now the spawner component, its job is just to spawn a scene at its own position. So we're going to need to make some changes to that to make sure that we can spawn 2 lasers at these 2 muzzles. Because this is a little bit of an exception for how the spawner component is going to work. So let's come into our ship script here. So click on the script. And we want to get access to some nodes in our scene inside of the script. And Godot has a really nice shortcut for that. We can hold Control and select our spawner component, our right muzzle, and our left muzzle. Once we've done that, we can click on them all and drag them over here without holding Control. And then, right before you drop them, press Control and drop them. And what that does is it automatically creates on-ready vars for each of these nodes to get access to them. Now, an on-ready var is a variable that only tries to get access once this scene is ready. And that's important when you're accessing children, because otherwise, if this ship isn't ready yet, the children's scenes might not be ready either. They might not exist in the scene. So it essentially waits until they're ready before we get access to them. Now, it's not very good at knowing to type stuff. So you can see our spawner component is typed as a node 2D, but we want it to be typed as a spawner component. And it also appears that when you do this, in order to get auto completion, we have to do as spawner component here at the end. At least that has been my experience so far. If that's not the case, let me know. I'd love to not have to type this every time. Okay, so now we have access to our left muzzle and our right muzzle and the spawner component. Now, our spawner component, you could go into it to see what tools you have. If you hold control and then click on it, we can come in here, we can see that we have a spawn function. And so we're going to be using that spawn function in our game here. Let's create a new function here called fire lasers. Okay? And it will just return void, which just means it's not going to return any value. And we can do spawner component dot spawn, and now it wants a global position from us. You can see the spawn requires a global position. By default, it's its current global position, but we want to pass in our own global position. Now we could have two spawner components actually at each muzzle position instead. Oh, that's interesting. I never considered just using two spawner components to remove the amount of code that we write. Okay, so there might be there's two ways of doing this. We'll just keep doing it based on my reference project. But if you want to challenge yourself, try instead of using a left muzzle and a right muzzle, just create two spawner components and have them automatically spawn with a timer. Okay, so we've got our spawner component here. We're going to spawn left muzzle dot global position. And then we're also going to call spawner component dot spawn at right muzzle dot global position. So it's just going to spawn our laser at both the left muzzle and the right muzzle. Okay? Makes sense. Now we want to do this every so many seconds. So we're going to create a new timer. So Godot has a timer node. We can attach to our ship, and this timer node, we'll call it the fire rate timer. Fire rate timer. We'll give it a wait time of 0.4 seconds, and we'll have it auto start, but it won't be one shot. We want it to one shot means it'll just fire once, and then it won't continue to fire. But we want it to fire over and over and over again. Now we can get access to this node by dragging it into the scene and then holding control and dropping it. So we've got access to the fire rate timer. And here we're going to introduce another crucial part of this whole component system, which is the signals system. The signals are kind of like events that we can connect to different actions or functions. So what we want to do is connect the signal of our fire rate timer. If you click on node up here, you can see that it has a timeout signal, which fires every time the timer hits 0. So every time this timeout signal or event happens, we want to fire lasers. And we can connect our timeout signal to our fire lasers function inside of our ready function on the node. That's what we're going to do. We'll say fire rate timer dot timeout. So that's the signal dot connect. And then it wants us to pass in a callable, which is just another word for function. We're going to pass in fire lasers. Now, if you use Godot's autocomplete, it's going to actually put these parentheses after fire lasers. And that's bad because what that means is that it's going to call this function right away and then try and connect to the return value. But we have a return value of void. So you can see cannot return value of call fire lasers because it returns void. So Godot can already tell that this isn't good, even though it's the one who did it. So what we need to do is remove those parentheses and just have the one parentheses here. That way we're not actually calling this function, we're just connecting to it. Okay. Now, if we run our game, we should see the lasers firing on our ship. Wow, cool. But here's the problem that I started to mention earlier but never got around to. In Godot, you can actually see the scene that is currently running. So if you come over here, you can see when the game is running, in scene we have local and remote. Local is the scene that we usually work with when the game isn't running. Remote is the current game scene. If we click on it, we have our world, we have our ship, and what else do we have? 1 million lasers. And that is because our ship is currently firing lasers every 0.4 seconds, right? Those lasers are flying off into infinity, but they're still in memory, and that's a problem. Because what that means is Godot has to keep track of them, and it's going to slow your game down. You're going to have a ton of nodes. It's a bad thing. So we can fix this by using Godot's, Godot has a built-in node here called visibility on-screen notifier. So we'll connect this node to our laser. We'll save. Now, we'll need a script attached to our laser. So let's attach a script to it. Create and save. Now our laser has its own script, and it can get access to our visibility on-screen notifier. So I'm going to drag it over, hold Control, and drop it. And then inside of our ready function, we can say visibility on-screen notifier. And here we're using this connect, this signal connect approach again. If you look at the signals for the visibility on-screen notifier, we have screen exited. So we're going to connect to screen. So screen exited dot connect. Now, what function do we want to connect to? What thing do we want to happen? We want the laser to destroy itself. And to do that in Godot, you can connect to the queue-free signal. And again, we have to undo the parentheses that Godot added and make sure that we're not calling queue-free right away. We're just connecting to that function. Okay. So now our lasers, when they go outside the screen, when they're no longer visible, they will free themselves. And we can shrink this box around the lasers to fit. This is the box that is used to determine if it's outside of the screen. So I'm going to make it fit the laser a little bit better. Now, if we come back and run our game again, and we go to the remote tab, you can see that we are creating these lasers, but they're getting freed. So we don't have an infinite stream of lasers going off into infinite space. Now, let's spice this up a bit. Let's make this look a little bit better. So there's a few things that we can do to make this better. The first one is to scale the ship whenever it fires a laser. Let's come into the ship. We're going to add a scale component. This is one of the components that I made. We'll come into our ship here and we'll drag this over, hold Control, get access to it. Make sure that we type it. And now inside of fire lasers, we can also scale our ship. So we'll call scale component dot tween scale. And again, if you want to see what the components do, you can click to see what functions are available to them. So our scale component will scale our ship for 0.4 seconds. That's the duration. And the scale amount is 0.15. That's the default. We'll just leave it at the defaults. Now we have to choose a sprite that we're going to scale though. So let's select our animated sprite 2D here. And that way the ship scales every time we fire a laser. And you can see that now. Boom. That already adds some juice to the game, makes it look quite a bit nicer. Let's also scale the laser. So we'll add our same scale component to the laser. And come into here. And in the ready function, we'll drag over our scale component. Make sure we type it as scale component. And inside of here, we can call scale component dot tween scale, just like that. So we're just calling it in the ready function on each laser. But I want to switch how much we're scaling it by. So we're going to scale it to 2. And we're going to select our sprite here. And the scale duration is going to be a whole second. So it's going to be a long time that we're going to scale it. Now if we come back to the game, you can see the lasers start off bigger and then scale down. And this, I think this just looks good. Add some juice. It's personal preference. Some people don't like to mess with the perfect pixel scaling. But I think in this case it looks good. So that's why I've chosen to do this. Okay, lastly, we're going to add a flash to our lasers as well. There's a flash component right here. We'll select that. Now the flash component needs to have access to this white flash material effect. So it's important that the folder structure matches here, effects, white flash material. If the folder structure doesn't match, if it can't find this white flash material at this location, this will error. You'll get an error here. So keep that in mind. You can see that at my effects, I have white flash material.tres, so it matches. Okay. Now our flash component, we'll select a sprite again, select our sprite, and select the flash duration to be 0.1. Come back into our laser scene here, drag in the flash component, type it, flash component as flash component, and then we'll just call flash component.flash. There we go. Okay. Now our lasers will flash briefly right when they're created, and I think this looks good too, personally. It draws attention to them in the game. So that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it and learned something along the way. Again, I want to mention that series like this are made possible by the people who support me by purchasing my Godot courses. I'm doing a fall sale on them right now, so if you're interested, there will be a link in the description and the pinned comment, and probably at the end of this video, you'll be able to find it. So you can go check that out. I'm doing a pretty big discount for the courses right now for a fall sale. So thank you so much for watching, for all your support, and I will see you all in the next video.